getting our first look today at a drug tunnel that was just recently found running from Mexico under the port of entry and into Otay Mesa. More on how they found it and what drugs they found inside.
Today we're learning new details about a tragic shooting in Bay Park that took the life of a 17-year-old who was 8 months pregnant.
Millete murder trial week 3. The lead investigator takes the stand and walks jurors through neighborhood surveillance video the day Maya disappeared.
Residents say the lights keep going out in this Fallbrook community and they're asking for help.
The city of Oceanside has plans to put an artificial reef just offshore, bringing the sand back to the strand here in Oceanside.
We're following breaking news out of the Vista area where a SWAT standoff is underway right now. This is happening on Calle Quinn. It's just off South Santa Fe Avenue, a little north of the Trader Joe's. That's off the 78 for those of you familiar with the area. This is the view from Chop Rate within the last hour.
Now, we don't know too many details right now, but sheriff's officials tell us a man got into a dispute with a neighbor and he's now accused of assault with a deadly weapon. That man ran into a home and is refusing to come out. Authorities are asking people to avoid the area as the investigation plays out. Of course, we will continue to monitor this situation and bring you updates as soon as we get them.
Our other top story tonight, we are getting our first look inside a sophisticated drug tunnel found by federal authorities near the Otay Mesa port of entry. Good evening. Thanks for joining us. I'm Carlo Cicchetto.
And I'm Anna Laurel. Those federal authorities also seized a ton of cocaine worth millions of dollars. News 8's Alex Cheney joins us live from near the border with all the details. Alex?
Yeah, Anna, this was a really significant discovery, and the exit to that drug tunnel is actually in the business just here. This is the Buy for Less, which we now know was a fake storefront after federal authorities said that they found one of the most sophisticated drug tunnels they've ever found just steps away from the Otay Mesa port of entry.
Cocaine is now the lifeblood of the cartels.
After a 6-month investigation, the Homeland Security Task Force says they discovered the exit point of the drug tunnel inside a Buy for Less storefront near the Otay Mesa port of entry and seized 2,064 pounds of cocaine worth about $45 million.
For those defendants, they thought they saw a light at the end of the tunnel. In fact, what they saw were our lights in sirens.
Agents say the cross-border tunnel is about 1,933 feet long, 55 feet deep, and 4.5 feet in height, with reinforced walls, rail, and ventilation systems and electricity. Last Friday, May 29th, agents arrested 4 men as they tried to make the first delivery of drugs from the tunnel.
As they tried to move drugs in boxes, in bags, and in large freezers for distribution throughout our communities.
Border Patrol says the tunnel did not disrupt the Otay Mesa port of entry.
It was so sophisticated and it was down deep enough that there was no impact to our operations.
The 4 defendants are between the ages of 18 and 32. The men are facing charges of constructing an unauthorized tunnel and the importation and distribution of a controlled substance. The maximum penalty is life in prison and a $10 million fine. Federal authorities say this is a warning to anyone thinking about trying the same thing.
You see that partnership standing behind us? This is what partnerships do. The interdictions, the seizures, the defendants, it's all part of the story that San Diego takes this seriously. I appreciate the time.
Now, agents say right now they did not share with us how they found that the exit to this tunnel was here, but they're in the process of destroying the tunnel and did not mention the owners of the store today. Also, Border Patrol said that this is the 99th drug tunnel discovered since 1993. Reporting live, I'm Alex Cheney. Back over to you.
Really highlights the resources these criminal organizations are willing to invest to get drugs into the U.S. Alex, thanks for that story.
Tonight we're learning new details about that pregnant teenager shot and killed outside a Bay Park vacation rental over the weekend.
Right now, her newborn baby, delivered in an emergency C-section, is in critical condition. News 8's Shannon Handy has the latest.
This is a tragic story. We've learned the 17-year-old victim is Jariah Edwards. She was in San Diego visiting from Arizona when her ex-boyfriend allegedly unexpectedly showed up to this rental home they were staying in and shot her in the head.
It's tragic.
This afternoon, there were no signs of the tragedy that took place outside this Bay Park home on Gardena Avenue early Saturday.
The aftermath.
Neighbor Dan Scalco slept through the commotion, later learning about what happened from the homeowners.
We had gotten a call from the owners of the house there in Florida, and they said, Dan, this is what's going on. You have to go down because I'm taking care of the property for them.
According to San Diego police, it was just after 1 a.m. when officers responded to a shooting. When they arrived, they found 17-year-old Jariah Edwards suffering from a gunshot wound to the head.
She is genuinely like one of the sweetest people.
Jariah's aunt told our sister station in Phoenix her family is devastated by what they're calling a senseless act of violence. Jariah was in town from Arizona for a family vacation. She was 8 months pregnant and excited about becoming a mom.
Just recently started kind of growing into herself and becoming, you know, who she was supposed to be.
Jariah was rushed to the hospital where she died. Doctors performed an emergency C-section. Her baby, a little girl, is fighting for her life. According to an online fundraising page, Jariah's family is facing unimaginable grief and are doing everything they can to care for the newborn.
Her legacy is that her daughter is going to be everything that she wanted to be and so much more. And she should be proud of that.
As for the suspect, he's been identified as 21-year-old Trayvon Williams. After the shooting, he ran to Tecolote Canyon nearby where he was arrested. Jail records show he is being held without bail on several charges, including murder and attempted murder. Scalco says the entire neighborhood is shaken, with some families still grappling with how to explain this type of tragedy to their kids.
They are trying to figure out how they can best talk to them and make it to a point that they hopefully can understand.
Williams is expected to make his first court appearance on Wednesday. Reporting from Bay Park, I'm Shannon Handy for News 8.
All right, Shannon, thank you. We are now in week 3 of the Larry Millete murder trial. Prosecutors started with neighborhood surveillance video showing the Chula Vista mom the day they say she was killed.
The defense continues to argue there's not even proof Maya was murdered. News 8's Jenny Day joins us live from the South Bay Courthouse with more. Jenny?
Yeah, Detective Jesse Vicente from the Chula Vista Police Department back on the stand going through the hundreds of hours of video surveillance from that neighborhood. They say, again, showing the day that Maya disappeared and the days after. Now, an emotional moment today in court was when jurors also heard from one of the couple's children. Again, everyone was emotional today in court as we heard from the child. Just a real reminder that there are many victims in this case. Maya and Larry Milliete's son speaking to his mom just 4 hours before police say she was killed. Maya returned home from that car wash in her Jeep at 4:43 p.m. Prosecutors say these are her last known moments alive. Neighborhood surveillance video then captures 6, maybe 7 loud bangs between 8:45 and 10 on the evening of January 7th, 2021. The lead detective testifying Chula Vista police were never able to determine what exactly those bangs were. Starting then at 6 the next morning, January 8th, 2021, cameras pick up Larry's Lexus SUV move closer to the house, backing into the driveway. He then leaves at 6:45 a.m. and is gone for nearly 12 hours. Prosecutors allege Larry loaded Maya into the back and dumped her body some 200 miles away. Larry has always maintained he took his son to the beach and says his phone was dead all day. So while so much was captured on camera, again, Chula Vista police saying they looked at hundreds of hours of video, they say not once does it ever show Maya leave again.
You may continue with your cross-examination.
Prosecutors had him repeat this several times. The defense, however, questioned a 7-minute gap in the video after midnight, questioned some of the accuracy of the timestamps, and pointed to the fact it was Vicente's first homicide investigation, asking him about his training when it comes to preserving a crime scene versus looking for a missing person. New today, that lead detective also says they observed a freezer being wheeled out on a dolly to Larry's aunt's vehicle on January 9th, 2021. He also noted it was odd that Larry repositioned Maya's Jeep a few times in those first few days. Yeah, we'll see what continues to come out. Of course, Of course, court resumes tomorrow. The lead investigator saying they looked through more than 150 tips from the public, with none ever leading to Maya. Now, the defense continues to point that the man who Maya was having an affair with, they say, was never thoroughly investigated. They say that Larry also had pulled into the driveway that way many times before. I can tell you, I'm just feet away from Larry in court every day, and he is looking, as well as the jurors, intently at the screen as this video surveillance continues to play. He's also been taking lots of notes. Live in Chula Vista, Jenny Day, News 8.
Big developments every day in that trial. Jenny Day reporting for us live. Thanks, Jenny. And you can watch our coverage of the Millete case with the CBS 8 app on your phone or TV. Stream now for free. The lights keep going out in one Fallbrook neighborhood, and residents say they've been waiting a long time for answers.
After hearing their concerns, News 8's Alex Lai is working for you to find out what's being done to fix the problem.
Someone who lives here at Valley Oaks Park reached out to News 8, frustrated by frequent power outages disrupting daily life in the neighborhood. Working for you, I came out here looking for answers. In this small Fallbrook community, residents never know when the lights might go out.
In 1 week, it was 4 times that it went off, unexpected.
When I visited the neighborhood today, I met Elizabeth Schmidt. She's lived here for 7 years and says the outages have been happening for more than a year. But over the past month, they've become much more frequent.
You're talking spoiled food and whatever else, but luckily we don't have like medical equipment that needs to be ran.
She's currently borrowing a generator from a friend in case it happens again and plans to buy her own soon, but says the setup is less than ideal.
Smell gas fumes. You have to put a towel, you know, in the crack of the window, so it's not pleasant.
Elizabeth says management has brought generators to the park in recent weeks to help keep homes supplied with power. But the ongoing issue has been frustrating for residents, and they have struggled to get answers.
We call the office, but of course they're getting inundated with tons of calls. We didn't really get an answer until just recently. We actually got a couple of them.
Elizabeth showed me a few letters Valley Oaks Park sent to residents a few days ago.
It goes through quite the process, preparing and what the temporary fix will be.
According to the letter, there is at least one fault in electric lines near a transformer. Management says new wiring will need to be installed, a project that could take several weeks and require extensive trenching. The letter also says the current generators will be replaced with temporary electrical wiring connected to the main power supply. Elizabeth says she doesn't expect residents to receive credits for the construction or planned outages, but she's glad to finally have some explanation.
Thank you for telling us. Now we at least know what the plan is.
I spoke with management on site. They declined to comment and say the owners would need to address questions about the project. I also emailed the park but did not receive a response. Working for you in Fallbrook, Alex Lai, News 8.
All right, Alex, thank you. And we just received a response from the park saying in part they've been working with SDG&E to resolve the issues since May 9th when a fuse was blown. It says management does not expect any future unplanned interruptions while the repairs are completed. And remember, if there's something you'd like us to look into, email us at workingforyou@cbs8.com.
A new way to get from the South Bay to downtown San Diego officially launches.
We'll show you still ahead. Plus, California's primary election is tomorrow. We hear from data experts about the tight race for governor and share what you need to know if you have not already voted.